Men's mental health. A topic that is finally gaining traction within the masses. A topic that is finally being seen and recognized and actually being taken seriously. We're going to be talking about the state of a young man's mind. A young man's mind is filled with insecurities about his place in the world, about his place in society, about his finances, about his image, about where he belongs. I myself have had my own struggles with mental health. Back in 2020, about 5 years ago, I was dealing with depression. I was overweight, and I also had heavy social anxiety. And there was a lot of times where I just did not know how to cope. I did not know how to deal with it. I did not know how to move about in this world. I felt worthless. I inherently felt useless. And why is that? Because I realized that men's mental health is tied with how useful a man is. You know, this is not patriarchal. This is not like in a way trying to be like, oh, like the world should be ashamed. Why does a man have to be useful to be like, no. This is actually something that is ingrained with us, that God instilled in us, because men and women are different. We are equal, but we are different, very different in many ways. We have very different purposes. And remember, this is a video specifically focused on men's mental health, especially young men, which is what I am. Men pride themselves on being useful. Men like to be used, whether we like to say it or not, whether we know it or not. We enjoy being useful. And when we feel like we are not useful, that we are not worth anything, we begin to not be useful in society. We begin to be suckers of society. We begin to latch on to providers in society, whether that be our mothers, whether that be our fathers, whether that be the government, whether that be the state, whether that be a girlfriend, whether that be a wife, right? We begin to latch on things to provide us with some sort of value, to make us feel like we're useful. You know, a lot of men, especially young men, like to pride themselves on their sexual prowess, right? Oh, like, you know, I got the thing on me, you know what I'm saying? I'm hanging or whatever. Or like, oh, I just lay it down and, you know what I'm saying, I'm good to go. And a lot of young men like to pride themselves on that. And that's the only thing that they can pride themselves on that. And that's the only thing that, in a sense, makes them feel better, that gives them that dopamine rush. Is that, okay, well, I don't have my money right. I don't have this right. I don't have this right. But at least I can do what I got to do sexually. At least I can go conquer this. At least I can go conquer that. And it's time that we as men begin to start prioritizing our mental health before it is too late, because it is only us that can save us. We need to stop going towards sex and stop going towards pornography and all these different things to feel value as a man in this world. Stop going towards drugs and alcohol to feel just to feel something. You know, stop running towards food and sugar, right? To feel like something. You know what I mean? Like, it is time for us to start really thinking about what do we like doing as young men? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should not be play the game a little bit or whatnot, but don't let it overrun you. Don't let it overtake you. What we need to do is we need to become useful in this society. And it does not mean you have to, you know, be a father that pays all the bills and stuff like that, or be a husband that pays all the bills. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying go out and get a family right now. No, unless that's the path that God has bestowed upon you, then that's different. But what I'm saying is we need to aim to be something greater than what we are today. We need to look to be better than yesterday. I did not come out of my depression until I started to make myself useful in my own eyes, until I started to begin to raise my own internal value by going to the gym, by treating myself properly, by treating the temple that has been given to me properly, by eating properly, by walking, by running, by going to the gym 4 days, 5 days a week, by stretching, by doing all these things. I inherently have made my own self useful, which then makes one feel good. It makes me feel good. I live in the hood, right? I'm surrounded by a lot of black men who they get value from others. They get value from their boys on the corner. They get value from their baby moms needing them to pay for a couple things. They get value from brotherhood, from the gangs or whatever, and all this nonsense, right? That's what makes them feel useful. Bad things, the things that are actually horrible for you, that intend to destroy you. And this is why they're stuck here, 35, 40 years old with zero job, with wearing the same clothes every day, with horrible hygiene. Why? Because they turn to the wrong things to make themselves feel useful, to make themselves feel wanted. It's time for us to start to remove ourselves away from the negative and start embracing the positive. Yes, it may be difficult. Yes, it may not be. Yes, it may be hard, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. I'm the most happiest I've ever been, and I work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and guess what? I have something else on the side that I'm working on, and I have YouTube that I'm working on, and I'm working on running a marathon, and I'm working on all these different things because I'm making myself useful. I'm not just existing. I'm not just coasting in life. I'm making myself useful, right? I'm trying to help as much as I can in this world. I'm trying to fulfill God's purpose for me, which is to help others, which is to help motivate others, to help give life to others, to help, you know what I'm saying, to be a blessing. You know, I was blessed to be a blessing, right? So as we focus on our mental health, as we focus on young men's mental health, we need to understand the root. The root is the feeling of being useful. The feeling of being needed in the society. Like, oh, I'm needed at this job. Oh, I'm needed by this friend because guess what? If I fall back, he's gonna fall back too. And then we're both gonna be in bad situations, predicaments. I need to uplift this man. I need to uplift this young black man, this young Chinese man, this young Japanese man, this young Jewish man, this young Palestinian man, this young, it does not matter. Race, creed, it does not matter. Your title, right? We need to make ourselves useful in this society so we can help the overall society grow. Do we not see where society is heading? This is a pathless world. This is a pathless world where we don't know where we're heading, where evil is good and good is considered evil, where having a right mind is considered it is seen as foreign now, right? Make ourselves useful in the society. We need to begin to make important of what is actually important in this world, not the designer, not the Dodge Hellcats, not the expensive colognes, not the Amiris. It's the ability to make something that's greater than you, whether that be a family, whether that be a business, whether that be evangelizing, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? The ability to draw people to positivity, to draw people to the faith. You know what I'm saying? So it's time that we start making our mental health important, because it is very valuable. Because we as young men are supposed to be the leaders, the new leaders of this world. Because guess what? Look at the leaders that are here right now. And guess what? With how pathless we are, do you think we're going to be headed in a correct direction? If we don't begin to start changing now, it's now that we must start the change.